Hello, my happy family. Jeffrey Williams, Jeff W. Williams, Mr. Jeffrey Williams. Somebody could call me Chef Jeffrey. Is back in the house for Financial Fridays. Yeah, Financial Friday, y'all. I got an awesome video for y'all today. This is one y'all should listen to. Y'all should share this one. Like it, share it with your family, friends, or whatever. I'm going to show y'all, not show y'all, I'm going to tell y'all how the proper way of grocery shopping, save money on food. I've done this bits and pieces on my other channel. I'm gonna go in specifics how I do it. First, starting out, I spend $150 a month on groceries. $150. I spend about every 2 weeks. I go to the grocery store every 2 weeks, every other Monday. Try to go on a Monday. Or sometime Wednesday. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. But most time it's Monday, but a lot of time it's Wednesday. Every other Wednesday, I spend no more than $75, $80 every time I go. I spend about $150, $160 a month on food. And y'all probably say, "Oh, you because you're single." No, I do. If you go to my other channel, I do a lot of cooking. I cook enough food every day to feed a family of four. If you see my other channel, Old School Soul Food, when you see me cooking, it's not little portions, it's big portions of food. I do this on a regular basis, y'all. I have enough food. I cook every day or every other day. I can feed a family of four, meaning a mother, dad, and two kids on $150 a month. How do I do it? How do I do it? It's all about organization and budget friendly and being a smart shopper. Number one, you gotta organize. You gotta organize what you I tell people this all the time. Do not cook spontaneously every day. It will cost you money. Oh, what am I gonna do today? What am I gonna cook tomorrow? Have a plan. Write down what I'm gonna do. I tell you, I do my whole meal on my other channel a month out. I know the whole month what video, what meal I'm gonna cook every day. I already know. I make that a month out. Of course, it changes, you can vary it and kind of change it up every once in a while. But pretty much every month, I know what I'm gonna make. Make a list. Once you put the menu, okay, I'm gonna have spaghetti, meatballs, cheese. I'm gonna do a pot roast Sunday. I'm gonna make a cake this day, and da da da. Write all that down. Write it down. Now I ain't saying do it for the month. Do it for the week. If you want to do it for the week, you can. But I suggest do it every 2 weeks. I suggest going to the grocery store twice a month. I really do. You're gonna save so much money if you go to the grocery store just twice a month. Write it down. We'll do it from the week. We'll go by week. And it's not hard. You think it's hard, and once you get in the groove of doing this, it's not that hard. Okay, breakfast, we're going to have this. Maybe breakfast we're not going to eat. Maybe your kids got school or whatever. Maybe they got breakfast at school. Maybe y'all going to have just cereal and milk. Write it down, what you think you're going to do. Include coffee. I don't drink coffee. That's not included in mine. If you're going to have coffee, how much coffee it takes to write that down. Vegetables, everything you need, write it down, the menu. Then you go back, okay, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna pot roast, I'm gonna need such and such, this and that. I'm gonna need potatoes, I'm gonna need onions, I'm gonna need bell peppers, stuff like that. I'm gonna need that. Write that down on another page. So when you go to the store, I'm telling you, when you don't write this stuff down, you don't make an in-depth list. I know people go to the store every day. Oh, I forgot this. I want to got because you're not organized. Don't write it down. Write it down. Put pen to the paper, and what you're going to need every week. I do this on a regular basis. I know it works. Once you go to the supermarket, now this is another thing I do. Let me roll back here. You have to be a smart shopper. I'm not a big generic off-brand person. I am for certain things. Most of the stuff that I buy is name brand. Let me explain to you why. There's a difference to me. I've been buying food for years from companies. It's what I used to do for a living for the last 15 years of my life. I purchased food for a private club. That's what I did. There is a difference. Don't let people don't tell you that. There's a difference between off-brand products and brand products. There's a reason it's cheaper in certain things. Now there's things that doesn't make a difference. When it comes to even, I love my white lily flour and the gold medal flour, whatever. There's a kind of difference in that. But sugar, granulated sugar, brown sugar, powdered sugar, ain't no difference. Ain't no difference. I'm going to tell you something else about a country boy. Eggs. Brown eggs and white eggs you can do your research on that. Get your white eggs. Brown eggs ain't no better than the white eggs. I'm telling you. People gonna fight me on that, and it doesn't matter. Milk. If you're getting regular, like my mama say, sweet milk, it doesn't matter on the brand. If it's Borden Lily, off brand or whatever, it doesn't matter. Some things do not matter. But with me, when I buy ketchup, when I buy bread, when I buy certain seasonings, when I buy certain meats, certain canned goods, let's get the canned goods. Some certain canned goods, it doesn't matter. Like canned corn, canned peas, stuff like that, you can buy off brand. But do your research very carefully when you buy off brand. This great value, this, but some of it makes a big difference in all the taste and the shelf life of it in your house. There's a reason it's off brand. It's just a great value. There's a reason behind that. But I'll do a separate video on that because it is a big difference between off-brand and off-brand and major brand stuff, especially with cereal. I will never ever buy off-brand cereal. I'm a Fruit Loops, Frosted Flake, Fruity Pebbles, Rice Krispies. I love that type of cereal. I would never buy off-brand Fruit Loops. Get you a bowl of off-brand Fruit Loops and a brand of Fruit Loops that's brand. Taste the difference. I like Bluebell ice cream. I'm not gonna buy no Food Club vanilla ice cream compared to Bluebell ice cream. There's a big difference. I tell people there's a big difference in certain things. What you get what you pay for. Sour cream. I'm always use Daisy sour cream. That's just what I use. I'm not using no great value sour cream. The spoilage on it is different. There's a big difference in the even butter. I'm not gonna buy no off-brand butter. The water content is different in off-brand butter. There's a scientific difference. I'm telling you what I know. I've dealt with food purchases so much in my life. So you gotta look into consideration of that. Some stuff you can't afford to understand. Okay, the sell by use by day. This is a lot of stuff that freaks people out. They see something, they buy something, they say, "Oh, this sell by date," meaning they need to get it off the shelf by that specific time. You can have your house up to a week. I keep buttermilk. Sometimes it's different from buttermilk and sweet milk. Buttermilk, I keep it sometimes 2 weeks after the sell by date. Buttermilk to me, as the older it gets, the better it is. For biscuits and marinating things, to me, buttermilk never spoils. I've kept it a month, buttermilk, in my refrigerator a month after spoiled, and makes the best biscuits ever because it's already clabbered milk. And to me, as long as it's refrigerated, it's all right. My mama taught me that years ago, and it's true. But milk, sometimes the milk spoil on the second. You keep it 3 or 4 days later. It doesn't mean it's spoiled. It means it needs to be sold in the store by day. So I'm just giving y'all clarification with that. Buy in bulk. If you got a Sam's, a Costco card, or a Restaurant Depot like I have, if you can afford to buy in bulk and then go and like I show y'all, the Food Saver is the best equipment in my house. Buy in bulk. Y'all know how I have meat processed. I just had a calf process about 3 months ago. I got beef the rest of the year and then some. November, I'm gonna have a venison. I'm gonna have a deer harvested. I'm gonna have it processed. I have deer sausage, deer chili, deer hamburger meat, all the way up to next November. I do that. That saves me a lot of money on meat. I don't buy a lot of meat in the store. I buy chicken. Sometimes I'll buy chicken in there, but a lot of times I'll go. Y'all know the video I got on Farmer's Meat Market when they have chicken wings on sale and chicken legs and chicken thighs and different things on sale. I'll go buy a huge amount of it in bulk. I'll come home and cryovac back it, food save it, and put it in the freezer. Only thing I don't have is pork. I don't eat a lot of pork. I love pork, but I don't eat a lot of it. But I don't have a lot of it in my freezer. But try to buy in bulk when you can. If you around a butcher, a market, a meat market, and they have a calf on sale, get 3, 4 of your neighbors, go in together and put the money in together. It's money, amazing how much money you save. So that with that being said, I don't buy a lot of meat in the store. I don't buy a lot of protein in the store because when it comes to meat, I'm very specific how I want my meat done, processed, and it's different things in the store. I do a video on another day what they put in the meat to make it look good. And Kroger's is good about this. And I tell y'all this all the time, and y'all can check me on this. Kroger's is good about injecting things in their meat to make it look nice, red, and fresh. And everybody knows this. Everybody in the industry know this. Kroger's, a lot of supermarkets do it, but Kroger's is very good about this. Injecting different enzymes or whatever in the meat. It makes it look nice and fresh on the top. And when you get it home, it's horrible. I don't do a lot of shopping at Kroger. That's a video on another day. I usually do HEB, and I don't shop at Walmart for meat at all. I never go to Walmart and get meat because I need to see it's got a butcher back there grinding meat, putting meat together. I need to see that. I need to see eyes on the butcher. So I never ever buy meat at Walmart. That is a big no-no. A lot of people, a lot of chefs, a lot of people in the food industry, they know this. They don't say this, but yeah, I tell people don't ever buy meat at Walmart. That's just a given. Everybody in the meat chefs and real professional cooks, they know that. That's a big no-no. So another thing here, I try to shop at one store. Like I say, I'm a big HEB shopper. I like Costco. I like Sam's. I try to shop at one store that would like. Some people love Kroger. Some people like Skydropper Bagel. Some people like Wins. You might be in the area where you have Publix. If you like that store, just shop at it. Now, Wednesdays, I tell you, go on Wednesdays. In Texas, I don't know about anywhere else. Wednesdays is the day the sales come out. Get that paper and go through it. As you Wednesday morning, sometimes you break they deliver to your house. Sometimes most time you go online to your favorite store and look in there and see what's on sale. Even if you don't think you're gonna need it, buy it while it's on sale. If it's freezable, freeze it until later. You might have ground meat on sale, $1.29 a pound or whatever. Go buy you about 10 pounds of that. Put it in the food saver. You never know it's gonna be on sale again, and freeze it. Some people like ribeye steaks or whatever. I have ribeyes processed on a personal note. But if you see ribeyes on sale or whatever, go get you a few of them if you like steaks or whatever, and put it in the food saver and freezer. Utilize your freezer. I tell people get a. I don't know if you see this on the video. I got a freezer like this. Actually, I have three of them. I have four of them. I have two here in KATY, and I have two in Dallas. And they cost about shoot. I paid $70 for this one at Target about 7, 8 years ago. It's good and not big. It's not heavy to move around and don't take up much space. Get you a nice freezer and stock up your freezer. You'll save so much money. Another thing I'm gonna tell y'all, and a lot of people don't do this. I'm just old school country me. Try to can your food. Go on videos on my other channel. I got so many canned goods. They save you so much money, especially in the summertime. You buy fruits and vegetables and things like that. Go and get your and can and put you some what we call put away or put up. That's what my mama said. We're gonna put up some vegetables. We're gonna put up some jelly. We're gonna put up some peaches. Put up some pears, and put it. I got like I say, I'm ready for. I'm always people know when something go down, we go to Chef Jeffrey's house. He got enough food to last literally 2 or 3 months. I got a generator around my house, and like I say, if disaster him, I literally could live 2 months off the grid of going to the grocery store in my home. I'm set up here in KATY and in Dallas too. I'm organized like that. So yeah, so anyway, like I say, the key is be organized, write everything down. Like I tell people, don't go to the store every day. Oh, I need to go to store this and go to the store that. You wasting so much money. If you sit down and write your menu and then go and put the pen to the paper. Okay, I need flour. I'm gonna need sugar. I'm gonna need uh, I'm making a cake. I'm gonna need eggs for this. I'm gonna need milk. Write all this down and get it all at one time because going back and forth costs you gas and it costs you precious time and you're just not organized. I'm telling you, I spend $150 a month just on food, and I guarantee you, in a month I could feed your if you literally live with me and had a wife, husband, wife, how it is, 2 kids, I could feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a month on $150, and you would have it left over. And that's including desserts, everything, because it's the way I organize my time and space. And I have an advantage because this is what I did for a living for 34 years. How to buy food, how to utilize food, how to cross utilize food. how to take something from one thing and then turn it into something else for leftovers. As a chef, that's what I did. And of course, in the last 15 years on my job, I was actually the purchasing manager. My job was to buy the best product at the best prices that last the longest time. And that's what I did. That's how I learned so much about food. That's why I learned about what's good, what's bad, what's generic, what grocery stores are good, what's grocery stores not bad. Because you get a little inside information on a lot of delivery drivers, a lot of the food reps, and things like that. So a lot of things out there. I'll do a video on good and the bad of the food industry and the grocery stores. Right now, you got Kroger's and what's the other store about to merge, and we trying, and that's the worst thing that can happen. Kroger's and cannot Albertson, I think it's Albertsons, is trying to do a merger, which is going to later on they trying to stop it, which they should. You're going to create a monopoly of grocery stores, because those two are the largest grocery stores in the nation, and they have the ability to raise prices, and then what's gonna happen? You have no choice but to use their stores, and that's why they're trying to stop that, because that's not good when two huge companies merge together like that, where they control 70% of the grocery market, and it limits your options of where to buy from, meaning they control everything. So that's a little thing that's coming up. So anyway, I just want to share that with y'all. And like I say, plan your time, plan your meals and stuff like that. Because I know money's tight out here, and a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck. It's amazing how much you save. I tell people, if you take this pen, take a piece of paper, and write everything down, write everything you need or whatever, you'll be amazing what you buy and what you save. And did I tell you? Let me go back here. Wednesdays, I think I told y'all that's when the sales come out on Wednesdays, and check your Wednesday sale paper. I think I went through that. So I'm looking at my notes here. So anyway, y'all, if you got any questions, just put down in the comments. I'm gonna do a separate video on certain things about supermarkets and stuff like that, because I hate to see people killing themselves, or being in risk of getting sick and stuff by going to certain places, buying certain things, and the public don't tell you. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been in the business too long. I know the ins and outs. Another thing, try to go before I close here. Go to the supermarket. I know you got these supermarket apps where you can people pick the groceries. I'm telling you, I'm old school. I want to go to the store. I want to pick up my whatever. I want to pick up my vegetable. I want to examine. I want to squeeze it or touch it or do what I want to do. If I'm buying meat, I want to examine or whatever. Quit getting these people to pick your groceries and all that. You are selling yourself short. You're playing a crapshoot, and you don't know what you're getting at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you're just wasting money for something that's not going to be good. Go get up and go to the store if you possibly can. If you got transportation to do it, and do it. This modern technology is making people lazy and making people spend more money when all you got to do is get up and go to the store and take an hour out your day and go to the store on Monday or Wednesday and buy all your groceries you're done for the day. Don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry either. That's another thing. I've done it many, many times. That's when you start buying spontaneous stuff that you don't really need, but it looks good in the store, and then you buy it and you get home like, why did I buy this? Because you're hungry and it look good. It's all in your mind. That works too. That's part of the psychological shopping. When you go to the store hungry, you buy stuff that you would normally buy. So anyway, let me close this video. If you like this video, please share, please comment. Please subscribe to my other Slice of Happiness channel. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. I haven't put anything on TikTok yet, but it's coming. Of course, YouTube here. Please share my videos. It's growing here little by little. I think I'm already up to 3,000 subscribers. And this channel is only about a little bit over 2 months old, which is amazing to have 3,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel that's not even 2.5 months old. So that shows you that it's showing interest, it's gaining traction, and people love what I'm putting out. So anyway, like I tell y'all, knowledge is power. I try to give you a little knowledge here to kind of make you think and help you, if it's financially, mentally, or psychology, or physically, to grow and be the best you can be. So anyway, y'all have a blessed, happy day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all.